Hey guys, so this is one of my favourite stretches at the moment. It's just a basic prone extension hold, but it's usually done wrong, and I was certainly one of them. So what I did was usually feel this in my lower back. Now what you want to do is try to posteriorly tilt your pelvis, which means you're sort of tucking your tailbone underneath you, which is going to stop you from overextending in your lumbar spine. You then don't want to have your elbows all the way underneath you either, because this will probably put you in too much extension, which your thoracic can't handle. So have the blocks or just your arms out far enough away from you that you can actually just start to practice bending in your thoracic only and not allowing yourself to use your lumbar spine to compensate. Try to keep your head nice and long, as seen here, where I'm not trying to look all the way up at the ceiling or have my head flexed all the way down to the floor. Try to work some really long holds of 20 to 30 seconds. It should feel fairly comfortable, but certainly challenging. This does overload the fast joints a little bit in a good way, so then you might want to use like a cat opener where you're just flexing up to try to relax those joints a little bit. Here's a nice little shoulder and thoracic opener. It's certainly a more challenging stretch than a prone extension hold that we went through a bit earlier. In this stretch, you want to make sure that your arms and elbows are locked, so shoulders are nice and straight, and you want an appropriate height in front of you. In this situation, I opted to have a block just to lift myself up a little bit more. Make sure you keep your head nice and long and keep your hips flat. We don't want to extend through our lumbar spine. In this stretch, we want to make sure that our stretch is coming in the backs of the shoulders there, around that armpit lat type region. We also want to be dropping down through our thoracic, but then lifting our chest bone off the floor, so we're getting posterior rotation and arching of our mid-thoracic and shoulder region. If you find that it's in your lower back, try to drop the height, because it just means it's too high for you. You might surprise yourself with actually how little raise you need to get the appropriate stretch if you're quite tight. Give it a crack and let me know how you went. Just thought I'd show you where I'm at with my own thoracic mobility, or immobility as it were, in this video. So I've been taught to use blocks to promote my thoracic extension, and using it as a hinge point. I find it super effective, and I do get quite a large stretch, but I'm sort of in between stages at the moment, and I am struggling with my head position here, and it'd be better if I was up a little bit higher. But if you're actually quite mobile, maybe try this stretch out and give it a go. Do have two supports for your back and head.